Cool. All right. When do we want to go live? In a couple minutes?
Now?
Whenever you're ready.
Don't know.
Yeah, you guys are good to go now?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you
All
ready,
right.
Val?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is LancelotArcher. Welcome to the Crusaders Podcast. This is episode 6. Hope everyone's been doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are joined by a special guest today. But first, before we get to the special guest, let's go through our hosts who will join me on this. First, we have InvisibleDizz. Dude,
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm good. Thanks.
Awesome. Tex.
Hey, boo-boo.
How you doing, boo-boo? You good?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Good.
And the
Just
man with the
kiss
best hair in...
already.
Dude, we do that anyway. We did it before this. Don't interrupt us. And the man with the best hair on Twitch. SENPIEMAN. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Awesome.
He's all fluffy.
He's all fluffy. All right. And we are joined by special guest today, CaptainxVal. How are you, my dear? How are things doing for you?
I am great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you
You're
for being
welcome.
on the episode. It's great to have you here. Right. Before we get in, Val, I'm just going to quickly start off. Give yourself a small introduction into who you are, and we'll just go from there.
Cool. I'm CaptainxVal. I do a variety stream on Twitch. I'm Canadian. I'm from Toronto, and I'm here to make people laugh and have a good time. That's
Awesome.
You
That's about
certainly do that.
You do. You definitely do
very
that.
much
You
do
definitely
that.
do that.
that's nice. I don't really. Whenever someone's like, talk about yourself, I'm like, oh god.
Check.
You know what?
Life
She's like,
story starting from day one.
Yeah.
Go.
She's like, talk about myself. Look at
Yes.
my profile down below on my channel.
I've only took hours to write that, but that's fine.
I love that. Okay. Also, I have to say, I love the Zelda shirt you're wearing.
Thank you. It's one of my
I saw
favorite
it.
shirts.
I was like, Breath of the Wild. I was like, my favorite Zelda game, probably to date. And I was like, that's a great shirt you're wearing.
Thank you. I love this shirt. If you guys watch my stream now and then, I do wear it a lot. Some people are like, do you wash it? I'm like, yes, I swear I own a washing machine. So it's
No,
just my
sorry.
favorite shirt.
You've just got many of those shirts.
I was
That's
gonna
what
say,
it is.
Multiple.
you love it so- yeah, you just got
Multiple.
it's just
Right?
one wardrobe, and it's just like 19 of them back to
Yeah,
back. You're
right?
like-
Oh my gosh. I have so many gaming nerdy shirts all the time, but they have green on it. So when I stream and with my green screen, it's all
just a neck,
see-through.
and
And
that's
I'm
it.
like, this is
Okay.
almost
Let
inappropriate.
me interject there. You can actually potentially do what I've been wanting to do for forever. You can
And just be a floating head.
just be the head in a jar from Futurama.
I totally could. I have a Zelda shirt that's like green, and it's like Zelda. I'm like, this is so cool. And I bought it. I was like, okay, to stream with it. I wore it, and I was like, what the?
Right.
I am
we
now
just need to
background.
find. We
Yeah.
need to find an image of an empty jar
Yeah.
from Futurama, and
I'm
then
pretty
boom,
sure
your head
I'm
in a
pretty sure
jar.
she could,
Your
you
head.
can
Yeah,
find a
that's like
PNG of that
One of
somewhere.
my
There's probably
favorite
somewhere.
shows. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite
So
shows.
good.
This is amazing. Oh, that reference
So
just made my life.
I've been wanting to do that on Twitch for so long, but I don't have a green screen.
I mean,
Honestly,
yeah.
this is not
Yeah.
a green screen. It's a tablecloth. HP5.
You know, you must be a messy eater.
Everywhere. That could have been taken really inappropriately, but we're not. Maybe a couple shots of tequila, then it's
Oh
going
my-
to get crazy. However,
Oh.
this used to be a whole bunch of tablecloths from like the dollar store, and they were half kind of like opaque and see-through, so I had to actually have 6 of them, and I had to layer it.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and then my
Yes.
boyfriend...
Oh my god.
My boyfriend just felt bad, and he saw this kind of clothy... I don't even know what it is. I don't think it's an actual green screen, but it was tablecloth for the longest time. So
Yeah.
I think this is actually some sort of just really green material that he just found and was like, here you go. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And that's about it.
If it works, it works.
Exactly. If it works, it
Exactly.
works. if it saves you having to spend 130, whatever it costs for the stream thing
No.
behind
It'll
it
get on a
was
stream
No,
screen.
man.
Yeah.
$10.
You know, $10. You've made a saving, so it's all good.
Yep.
Which I did actually order the Elgato green screen 4 times on Amazon, and each time I waited 6 months for it to be cancelled.
Why?
So I never actually got it anyway, so therefore I never actually spent a penny on it.
It'd be
Wow.
quite funny if in like literally like next week you get 4 green screens turn up at your door.
I call
I
dibs.
would make a green
I'll buy
room.
one off you.
A green room.
I'll come around and get
I'll
it.
take one off you. I'll take one off you.
I think we'll all take one off
Yeah,
you.
we'll take one off you.
I would make a green room for a VR setup.
That is so cool.
That would be awesome.
And it'd
so
just be Diz.
trippy.
It would literally just be Diz as the floating head in the VR room.
That'd be amazing.
Oh,
My
man.
dreams have come
I need to
true.
buy him a morph suit.
Yeah.
You'll need to
my
buy
God.
a few and stitch them together. They only come in one size, and it ain't mine.
It's definitely not one size fits all.
Hell no.
God.
Whenever I look at something online and it says one size fits all, I'm like, okay, I'm not getting this today.
You know what though?
This isn't for me.
Unless it's coming from the States.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
chat.
That's a good
Good
chat.
chat.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Too real.
That's what I've learned. Being
Yeah.
Canadian, if I order anything from the States, I go a size lower.
That's a good policy to live by, yeah.
Nope.
If I ever order anything from
saying.
China, I go 2 sizes up. Makes sense?
Yeah,
mean-
you know what?
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Yep.
All right. Captain Val,
Yes.
what have you been playing recently?
Ooh, well, recently I've had the obsession with Animal Crossing. Actually,
Good.
no advertising
Ta-da.
here.
Yeah. Just
yeah, I
a
know.
small sort of slim size. It's down there. I've been playing this a lot recently.
Yeah, just this one. Yeah, no, I've been playing Animal Crossing a lot. It was a big part of my childhood when I was growing up, and doing this whole like remaster and then it being brought onto the Switch platform is incredible. It's so many dreams come true, but also somebody died at the same time. That's another story. Let me critique this for you. But yeah, Animal Crossing is the most right now. A lot of Switch games is sort of what I focus on just right now, just because I'm obsessed with my Switch. And I don't actually have a lot of PC games, funny enough. Hang on, I do. My brother and I share a library on Steam, and he has like hundreds. So I have access, but I just never have the time. So I have a lot of games that I have to like get through. But right now, my whole focus is like the Switch and like how obsessed I am with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Okay,
fine. I mean,
so who currently is your number one villager in Animal Crossing?
Bluebear. I will cut a bitch for Bluebear. Like, yeah.
See, that's how I feel about my boy Zucker.
Yeah. Like
Please come
I
to
don't
your
have
island.
her on my island anymore. Well, I never had her on my island just yet, but I've had her in all my past games, and I'm like, I will literally kill someone for you. Like I will take a bullet if Bluebear was real. And like
If
people don't
anyone
get it.
Wrong Zucker. Oh my word. What happened?
oh my
Like
word.
unless you play the game, like I've told that to so many people. Like you're online, you're on Instagram, and there's so many accounts, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I would kill for this person." I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like
I
if you
will.
don't play Animal Crossing, it's like you don't get it. It's a stupid obsession.
Okay, I
Almost
feel
sick.
like you need to take advantage of your green screen when you next stream Animal Crossing. Just have like flames coming behind you when you're talking about your undying love for Bluebear.
Actually,
I would kill a bitch.
it's so
probably-
funny that you actually say that. My friend Chaotic Nonsense and I, we joke all the time, message each other every day, and she's like, she always posts that that flaming Elmo gif.
yeah. I
Like,
was about to say that would be.
ooh. I feel it on like a personal level. And my boyfriend was like, the other day he said this to me. He's like, I have never met anybody who is more like that flaming Elmo gif, but you. And I'm like, thank you, sir. That's an honor.
And still he stays.
Yeah.
He's a keeper.
I mean, who's the real
That's
idiot?
a
Though,
keeper.
whatever.
Yeah. He's a keeper for you.
He really is. That's a whole like other story too. Though he's incredible. But yeah, I'm lucky. That's for sure. But yeah, and I was like, well, you're sticking around, so like, who's really losing and winning here, but
Mm.
compromise, right?
I think you definitely now need to use that Elmo gif as part of your alert system.
I was about to say, it's probably going to have to go on your stream.
Oh,
Definitely.
you know what? I was been meaning to like change that up. Actually, my alerts didn't work for probably 6 months. It's a long story, but it turns out I don't know anything about audio, as we've learned. And I pressed a whole bunch of like button mashing a few months ago to get my stream to work. Yeah, like and it was like working. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna keep it like this. But then I screwed up all of my audio tracks and settings and all this crap. And then Chuck and Chaotic had to like sit down and like go through it with me and like, fix everything. So I've been meaning to update everything for like a while. So I will take that definitely and put that into consideration. That's for sure.
There you go.
And that's a good part about being part of a Twitch community, because you're a member of not only the Crusaders, but TLG as well.
Yes, I love being a part of TLG. TLG is like awesome. It's just like you guys, you know what I mean? It's a great community of not just like just of gamers. It's about everyone. It brings all kinds of gamers into this. It brings all sorts of people from all walks of life, and just bringing that like positive community to like another positive community, or like rating this person and that person. That's the best part, in my opinion. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, 100% agree. 100% agree.
Best represents, you know, when you find a team or you find a crew that's like similar to you, or they have similar thoughts, feelings, and almost like values as well. It's just so nice to be like, I'm a part of something. And I think deep down, so many of us want that, like, I need to find a place where I belong. And whether that's like the internet, or whether that's like, you know, in real life, really, like I think we all sort of that craving of like, where do I belong?
Yeah.
And when you find that online, and then you're like, you know what? I found this wonderful place. I need to show that to other people, and I want other people to find this wonderful place too. It's so nice just to find other people who feel the same way. So that's always a big thing to my heart.
That's awesome. I like the way you said that. It's very nice.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. I love the TLG crew. They're a very good crew.
Yo,
It's
they
very,
are
very nice
awesome.
community.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to be part of something so awesome.
So, what was it that initially got you into streaming?
Oh, that question will be long-winded, as all of my answers, so
Go for
buckle in. I will do
Go
my
for
best
it.
to shorten it. But the long story, but a friend of mine, actually, like a local friend in real life, good friend of mine, she streams, and she was like, hey, you know what? Like, you're fucking cute. Let's, you know, stream. And her and I got recently closer the past couple of years, and I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know how this stream thing is, or like, whatever. And we were playing Mario Kart, and we had such a blast. And we were wearing the same shirt, which was awesome. My like debut was this outfit, which was so ironic. And we were playing together, and we had so much fun. And her community was so accepting and welcoming. And I was like, holy crap, this is totally something we can do. And then after that, she received so much feedback by having me on. She was like, holy shit, just do your own. So I said, okay, cool. Like, what do I do? And she gave me like a breakdown. Actually, her name is Alien. Alien.
Yeah, give her a proper shout out.
Yeah, I
Yeah, give her a
should.
plug.
Alien of the Moon. Yeah, her and I are really good friends. We have bumped heads in the past, but I feel like that's what develops a good friendship, is having
That's what all friends do.
right.
Yep.
That's what good friends do. So for a long while, we did bump heads. We finally have recently like sat down and been like, okay, bitch, like, you're stuck with me, I'm stuck with you, and I like love you to death. So like I'm forcing this friendship on you. Like, deal with it. So great friend of mine, Alien of the Moon. She's been streaming, I think, for like 3 years or 4 years now. She's been in the game for a while, actually. She's quite established with her community, and they love her to death. Everyone is so amazing there. Everyone who's part of her community is just awesome. So definitely shout out for her. She's really, really great. But she was the one who got me into streaming, and then she was like, okay, like her and her husband Berto, he's featured a lot. He's always like in the background yelling at her or something, and they were like, you should do it. So we said, I still have a book somewhere. I should have had it ready, but I had like a list of like, okay, you're gonna need these kind of alerts, you're gonna need these many scenes, you're gonna need this and that. And they broke it all down for me. And then the next step was obviously getting a gaming computer, because I didn't own one at the time. I was always a console sort of person, and It's a very long story.
Go for it.
It's fine.
One of my good friends, used to be a good friend, hold up. Good friend of mine I've known for maybe 10 years. I'm trying to like censor it because I despise this person now. And I'm trying to be as nice as possible.
Maybe don't say the name then.
I will not. They're not on Twitch. They're not on the internet like at all. They're not nowhere near
Right,
it.
okay.
But he likes to build computers, and he's a really good friend of mine. Used to be a good friend of mine. Even my boss at like one point. And he used to own his own business. He made like a lot of money. And I mentioned like, hey, I wanted to stream thing, you know, can you teach me how to like build a computer? If I buy all the parts, will you like build it with me? And he's like, oh, let's just go build one today. So he like bought me a computer. And I was like,
wow,
what the fuck? And even like, it's normal. See, when you know him, that's really normal. There's no sugar daddy situation. Like, I didn't have to like give nudes or anything. Like, there was no exchange of sex. Like, a lot of people ask me that, and I'm like, no, I swear to God. At the time, he was one of my best friends. I've known him for almost 10 years. Like, we were really, really close. He just was very successful at the time and made all this money. And building computers was like a hobby. So he already had like $40,000 computers sitting, not even turned on in his office. He had like 4 or 5 of them. And he was like, let's just get you a new one and build it now. I'm like, well, I don't want anything like that. Like, please, let's just keep this modest because I do want to pay you back. And he refused.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I ended up with a gaming computer a lot quicker than I expected and got the stream thing up within days.
Is he by any chance in need of another friend?
Actually, probably. So.
And
Because just to be fair, Val, if you didn't send news, Diz will sell nudes to get
I
PC.
will send
Oh yeah.
nudes.
Oh yeah.
I
Hey,
will
you know what?
squeeze into a morph suit. I will cut appropriate holes where needed.
Where needed. I was just thinking
Where
that.
needed.
Oh man, actually,
And
he
yeah.
is being charged for 24 counts of fraud. So he doesn't have said
Diz will
money
still
yet.
send nudes.
Well, he's going to need a prison friend, so I can write him some
He, like,
letters.
isn't a charity anymore for like really basic bitches like me. So.
Oh my word!
It was just a he's just a good friend of mine, and that's what he did for everyone in his like life and his family.
Yeah.
He took care of his friends, took care of his family. He like bought all his family new laptops for Christmas and bought them all their phones and all their plans. He retired his mom, bought her a house. Like, that's just
I wonder
the
how
kind
he
of guy.
did that.
Yeah.
That's why we're not friends anymore, because I don't want to go to jail. It's a long fucked up story.
Oh my word!
So
That
I
took
know
a turn
some
for being
people.
like, he built me a PC and now he's done for fraud.
I know. So whenever I
Yeah.
explain that, I'm always like, oh, I feel so like bad because he like refused me to like pay him back. I was like, hey, let me help you build it. And he's like, you don't know anything, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here and watch you do it, I guess. So that was kind of how I got into it. And I have to make sure I explain that whole story because it's important for people to know that I was gifted this and it wasn't something I had to work really hard for or anything. And I feel like that has to be said because I know so many people work so damn hard for all their equipment. I mean, I do now. Upgrading this
Yeah.
computer, it's all on me. All of my equipment now is like nothing that I had that I started with. So, I understand the grind. I know what it is to work for $1. Like, trust me, I've hit rock bottom twice in my life, almost a third time. So I know what it's like to work for your dollar. So
Yeah.
and he's been through that journey with me. So because he saw that and he was taking care of so many people in his life, helping me out, really wasn't even a blip on his radar. So I was really lucky with that.
Those tablecloths, man, they're really going to put you in the rock bottom, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Wow, lordy.
But hey, yeah, like you said, it's nice that he gave you that start. Like, obviously, he had his own problems around his own life, but
Yep.
he helped his friends, he helped his family.
Yeah.
And
Deep down, he's a good person.
it helped you get a start into streaming.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, it was more like he believed in me and he said, you know what, I see what your friends are seeing in you, what they're talking about. Like, can I contribute to that? It was him asking me. I asked him, like, hey, let's build something. And he goes, oh my God, yes, like, let's do this for you. Let's start this. Like, you should be able to do this. And I thought, holy crap, like, I've been really, like, blessed with that friend. So that's how it all sort of started. But as of now, computer is totally different from what it is. I have upgraded and have used my own money to do all of that. But the startup was,
Build
through
on what you
friends
started.
who just believed in me
Yeah.
and thought I was entertaining
I mean,
enough.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice way to start though, let's be fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely would not say no to that kind of start.
I don't think anyone
Either.
would, right? So that's why I don't
Yeah.
really feel bad. I feel like anyone would have taken the opportunity. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
exactly.
Yeah,
No
anybody
dudes?
would have in all.
Like,
Yeah.
really? I won't even have to, like, give you a quick handy in the back? Nothing? Like, really? Okay. Wow. That
At
works.
least you asked.
Right? I was like, well, I
Title
mean,
of the
if
stream.
this is...
Oh my word.
Quick handy in the back.
I mean, you can't tell me that's not, like, anyone. A lot of people would do some crazy things, you know what I mean? For not just, I wouldn't say fame. Fame's totally different. Just having, something that's going to help you start something. I'm sure a lot of people would, kiss some ass to do some things like that. And I was willing and able, so still am. But, we're here.
Yeah.
Kiss some ass, suck some D just for that 2080 Ti, mate.
Yeah, man.
I know what I'd be doing.
Do. And you know what? I respect
Yeah.
the hustle.
Yeah,
I
Tex,
totally
you gotta
get
do
it.
what you gotta do, bro.
Mhm.
You gotta do what
Tex,
you gotta
you got a
do.
little something
No
just there.
judgment here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tissue.
Man, I thought we got it all before stream. Sorry, man.
Friends helping friends.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Oh my word.
Hey, some people need PC parts, other people need to eat. We just
You know what I mean? You gotta take what you can get.
Oh my word.
And some need assist building their glowy, shiny RGB machines right behind them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Wise of it.
let's move on. Let's move on.
I like how it's taking like mountains and valleys. This is great.
Yeah.
So when
So
it
makes
comes
it
to
great.
Twitch, Val, what's your goal? Is it just to have fun, or would you like to try and progress it as far as possible?
I think in every streamer they want to progress. And I think, as much as it is have, fun and goof around and like have all your wicked friends come in and your community and the raids, I think deep down everybody wants some sort of maybe recognition. For me, it started as like, I want to make friends because I was in a really dark place at the time in my life. So this actually came in at a really, 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 really good point of my life. So I made a lot of friends who filled all these voids that were I was in a really dark place with. So I'm always forever grateful for that, and I will always love everybody that I meet online. However, after learning and meeting TLG, and when I met TLG, there was some other members, some other founders that were part of like original TLG, like the first group of people who started it. They were like, yo, we want to go number one. We want this ambition. We want to be like Tim the Tat Man. Like, we want to be like that. And I thought, that's really infectious. Like, you know what? Maybe
Wow.
I don't think I could ever beat up it. Let's be real. Like, no. However,
Well,
it
you
would
never
be
know.
nice.
You never
It
know,
would be
exactly. You
nice.
never know where that break will come, isn't it? That's the thing. So
Right.
you could like when you next stream, something could happen where you just be like, you're the new Tim the Tat Man.
Right. Well, there was a friend of ours, Kilo. He got, I think he was playing with Tim the Tat Man on Fortnite or something. And then all of a sudden, I think Tim the Tat Man even like rated him or something at the end. And
Damn.
when
Right.
they were playing together, so he had like 40,000 like viewers at one point, and he was like losing his mind. So like anything can happen. It's up to you to obviously upkeep that, and if you ever have a chance and opportunity, I think none of us on Twitch would ever give up an opportunity to
Of course.
be better, do better, and,
No, of course
and
not.
make the world like a better place. I feel like that's where
Mhm.
the core of Twitch really is. I feel like for the people who really succeed, we have those common values and those common like morals and ways of, it's not just me being successful. I want to make sure that I upbring whoever came with me from the beginning. Like, I want to bring up everyone
Yeah.
around me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever had the
Mhm.
opportunity for being bigger and better, it wouldn't just be for me. I would make sure that everyone around me takes a piece of this, and we can all like make it bigger and better. So that's kind of like my goal is to,
Yeah.
expand, but make it in a way that everyone else around me comes with me. If I am one of the people who can, lead or have a pathway, I want to like bring everybody in and like make that a big party and all of us go together.
Yeah.
So that's
Why
what I'm
not?
trying
Yeah.
to do.
Exactly.
We're all here to help each other.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of why like I love the Crusaders and I love TLG, because we all have very similar goals in that sense of community, and let's bring everybody here, let's keep going, you know, up and up and up. That's just what I see, and that's what I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, that is you have one of the most optimistic outlooks on Twitch I have ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, like I've seen people that are like yourself, really optimistic and just want to be able to bring everyone else up, and then you see the complete mirror side of that where they just want to tear everyone else down just to bring themselves up, and that is not the kind of people that I ever want to associate or play games with or anything else. Thanks.
Yeah. You know what? I've experienced that. So that's why I think even now I'm even more, I think, optimistic, and I push it so much more of this inclusiveness, because when I first started Twitch, I actually was excluded from a lot of places I thought I could thrive and I was a part of, and I was told I was, but it didn't feel like it at all, and it caused some really awkward tensions, and I hate to be that person who's like, well, I didn't do anything. It was like, I didn't know, you know, things were being said and there's all this drama and people, it's like, hey, this is not YouTube, okay? I'm not here for the bullshit, you know? I find that Twitch is very much like real people, real problems sort of thing. So, I've had that experience. I've been burned really, really, really early on in my Twitch career, I guess you could say, my experience. So from then on forward, I always said, you know what? I never want other people to ever feel like this. I want them to come to my stream and feel like you're accepted, you're loved, you're part of something, and I want you to know you're important to me too. Because
That's amazing.
got the opposite. So I want to make sure everybody freaking knows that when they come and they say some weird shit, like I'm cool with it. Like just come on in. Like let's just go. But my rule on my Twitch is you're allowed to be weird, just don't be creepy. So
That's a good rule to live by, especially
That's
with
a nice
the internet.
mantra.
Okay, now we
It
know.
is.
Now
Good
we know.
mantra.
Okay.
Now we-
as a female, yeah, I mean I'm cool with like really fucked up jokes. Like don't get me wrong, like, girl has a lot that we can spill. We've gone to some dark places on Twitch, and some people are like, "Yo, that was kind of fucking dark." I'm like, "Damn, I didn't even say that." But damn, we're here. Shit, but you know what? Like, it is what it is, and I just finally, I think, have found that connection with people, and I found that equilibrium, that place, and I think that's why I'm so positive, is because I actually have experienced some like really dark, fucked up shit, just in general, from like real life to even internet. Like I wasn't ready for that, like at all. So I make sure to make it a point to be a positive drive for people who don't maybe have that positivity, you know?
Amazing.
I mean, I've also witnessed some really weird internet stuff. Like, I once Googled lemon party.
Why?
Don't ever do that.
I don't know. I was curious. I thought it was fun. I thought when life gives you lemons, apparently old people have sex.
Have you ever looked up
Oh, the
waffle?
2 girls in 1 cup.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Waffle story is another one. Yeah. Probably
Creme
the
de la
most
creme.
funniest thing.
Diz,
That was
if you've seen Lemon Party, have you ever seen Meat Spin?
Yes.
I've heard of meat spin. I have
Seen it all.
images in my head of what it would be.
Yep, me too. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's so funny," and I'm like, "This is really fucked up, guys. Like, this is not okay."
I'm just gonna say,
Not
Val,
okay.
you answered that very quickly when he asked it. That was like a split-second response. You were like, "Yes."
Yep.
It was like, "Wait, what?"
Been there, done that, seen it. Like, yep, been on this internet for a long
One of the
time.
t-shirts in the closet. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a fan base over there in the closet somewhere. Yeah, there's a t-shirt about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So let's move back to game talk.
Man, that derailed well quick.
Right? This is why I'm so
thing
excited
is
to be
that
here.
I take it up and then I bring it back.
Right?
So.
Valleys
We have
and mountains.
we have a deficit from the previous 2 podcasts about Animal Crossing. So, Val, go. What's been going on in Animal Crossing for you?
Sorry, you want to know more about Animal Crossing, or do you want the opposite?
Go.
Everything else but Animal Crossing.
I thought you were
What's
just
been up
telling
to
her
in
to leave the
Animal Crossing
podcast.
Me too. I was like, I could go.
Oh my word.
Sorry, Senpai.
How's
what
your
was
island?
exactly-
What's going on? What have your turnip prices been? Are you looking forward to fishing this weekend?
Ooh, feel me. Okay, remember that Elmo? Like, this is happening. A lot.
I wanted to light the fire.
Yes, to ignite the sparks. I half watch the stonk market now and then. I'm somebody where I'm on a Facebook chat, so someone's like, my turnips are like over 500. I'm like, hey, I'm alive. I'm coming right now. So I'm like those annoying people where I kind of like, I hover on like the back of a chat and someone says something. I'm like, I will insert myself here and then leave. So I have one of those going on. So I don't even watch the stonks, honestly, on my own island. The whole swimming.
I don't either.
Yeah, I just raid other people. I'm like, you guys can do the work for me. I'm just a lazy bitch. So the swimming part is exciting because that was in the 3DS game. So that was pretty awesome that they finally brought it in. We all kind of knew that was coming. If you've played previous games, you'll like, fuck yeah. Like, we're just waiting. We're just fucking waiting. But what I'm kind of like, unpopular opinion coming. I will say I think Nintendo has sort of dropped the ball a little bit with this game. I feel like there could be a lot more improvements, right? There could be a lot more improvements. Will that come along the way? I freaking hope so, because there's so much potential that this game can take. So many so many routes this game can really go, because it's already been there and done that. But like, people want that. They keep trying to think that, oh, we have to reinvent the wheel. We have to, like, no. Trust me, Animal Crossing people, we are determined. We are okay with the same everyday bullshit. Like, we are so good with doing our dailies that we just want that in a game. Then it looked really cool. So
Val,
I'm excited
when you said there was stuff wrong with this version of Animal Crossing, like, what specifically would you say that is an issue with, and what would you change for the better?
Goddamn missing stamina bar.
Oh, man. Okay, so a couple things. Tables. I feel like
tables.
They don't have enough tables.
Okay.
That's just like that's not even a small opinion, but that's just like everyone has that opinion. No, I think what it's like is what I'm trying to say is, when you compare it to like the Animal Crossing pocket game for your phone, there's things like items. Let's just say, just as an example. The items that are on that game are so bloody adorable, and it's like, if they brought that into Animal Crossing, people, I think, would be playing it more because they want to attain all those items. I think another thing about this game is how they are releasing things is too damn slow. Way too slow. Oh my god, how long I had to wait to go swimming. Like, are you fucking serious? I had to wait since March. Like, what? Where in the game itself, like from the 3DS, was quite quick.
Yeah.
And how that is like a separate island, and you know, other things like, okay, so you can swim. Okay, so you pick up all these other little creatures. Why can't I go do other things? Like, why can't I swim over to like another island, or like make it bigger? You did that for Breath of the Wild. Like, you have the ability to make these games and these landscapes so much bigger and better. Like, why is my island so freaking small?
If you think about it, when the game came out, it was spring. So really, they're being safe. Ocean water would be very cold. They're just trying to save your life.
I mean, unless it's part of the tropics.
Yeah, right. That's unless you're in the southern hemisphere. However, my villager will be in the water in the winter, because bitch better get all those items and all those creatures for the museum.
Southern hemisphere people.
So like things like that, like some things that there's other things too, like apps, like, oh my god, Isabelle. Okay, so this is another unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people love Isabelle and will kill for her. I get it. I love Bluebear. I get it. I totally get it. Like, evil Elmo, I get it. But she doesn't do anything. Especially in the beginning, when she has a cute announcement.
She talks a lot when you ask one question.
The dialogue.
I said something. I said this on my stream when I started it on Tuesday. Isabel's, I kind of feel Isabel, because she starts every day doing her morning broadcast with a glass of whiskey in front of her.
She's like, y'all are back. Here we go.
I get it. At 9 o'clock in the morning, she's got a glass of whiskey, a large whiskey,
she's
right
ready.
in front of her.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, they could have like made so many parts of the game better. Like Isabelle, like why can't she tell you about the freaking weather? You know what I mean? Like something as simple as that. You have to like stare at a little window behind her and be like, is it raining? You know what I mean? Like, do I have to water my plants today? So if they did, I don't know, a little announcement about like, okay, weather, or this character like Savannah or Sahara, or
it's going to be
Mabel,
here.
are there,
Yeah.
and you just don't walk into your town. You're like, oh shit, she's here. Like, it would be really nice if there was some sort of announcement. Like, she does not like Red, right? She'll be like, this guy's a scumbag. Oh my god, we hate him. Like, why is he here? And it's like, okay, I get that, but like, why didn't you announce anybody else? Like, he's a sketchbag. We all hate him, but like, why do we not know about any other awesome characters? Or like, what's his name?
Yeah.
The new otter guy.
CJ.
No, not CJ. The otter who with the scallop.
The ocean dude.
Yeah, I'm blanking.
Oh, I haven't found him yet.
Haven't seen him.
Pascal.
Haven't seen him
I
yet.
haven't caught
Pascal.
Pascal. Yeah,
I was going to say Pedro.
Petro.
I've also had the game for
bastard,
2
like-
months. Haven't had a meteor shower yet.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah, I've not had one either, and I've been playing longer than Senpai as well.
Damn.
Whoa. See, like that's like another problem is that you're not the only person I know who said that. I've had on Instagram, because it's like where the Animal Crossing community like obliterates, because that's all we had for months was like clips and stuff. So everyone's obsessed. I follow like so many accounts. It's probably a problem. But some people are like, yeah, like why am I not getting stars? Why is there no meteor showers? I'm like, that sucks. I only have maybe one once a month. And apparently now at the new patch, the 1.13 something, they've added having more stars, more occurring stars, apparently, even if it's not a meteor shower. So that's kind of nice. But like the dialogue even, that's another thing I wanted to bring up earlier. And every Animal Crossing game is known for having long, useless dialogue. And I thought maybe, just maybe, for this game could be just like not. But they did, and they always do. And it's like 11:59. I'm logging on. I'm pressing, and Isabelle's fucking talking. I'm like, I need to know my freaking turnips, please, woman. Like, I'm trying to buy them. And find that little asshole on your
it's how
island.
they stretch the game out. When literally the game is only set out for you to do dailies. Once your island's completed, once you're just left with dailies, the dialogue is the padding.
Yep. That's all
you know, instead of you logging in, doing your dailies and logging off in an hour, the dialogue, it makes it feel like 4 hours.
It does. And it's like, it's really unnecessary too. And I understand Nintendo has always been that company to fluff up dialogue, because I think everyone's reading it. Trust me, honey, no one's looking. No one's reading that. Everyone's just like, shut the fuck up. Let me start my stonks, man. Got a minute. Like, no one cares.
Can I get a show of hands? Who's actually listened to Blathers tell you about an item that you've donated? Are you all too busy?
No, I have no idea who it is. I just tried to have the odd one out.
Only the T-Rex and the great white shark that I was like, ooh, let me listen. And was like, oh, I kind of already knew that. But that's about it. Whenever he's like, oh, you want to hear about this wretched animal that's like the insects? And I'm like, no, dude, 'cause I know you don't want to listen to it. I don't even want to tell me. I know you don't.
Yeah.
As you were saying earlier about the update on the weather and stuff like that, this is where I feel like they could take a little note from Stardew Valley.
Oh,
yeah,
because you have TVs in the
TV.
game, but they don't do
or
anything.
2 TVs if you're a certain person.
Yeah, 2 TVs, one for international weather and the other for local weather.
Yeah. Apparently,
You
Animal
need
Crossing
multi-screen.
has that though. Apparently, at a certain time of day, if you log onto or you click on your TV, it will tell you the weather. Apparently.
Really?
Apparently actually I have the official
Not heard of that.
guide. I bought it.
I've been thinking about getting it.
The obsession.
Because
And
it's
on
thick
a
as
tiny,
well, isn't it?
yeah, on a tiny little blurb on the bottom of a page, like, by the way, if you go onto the TV at this time of this day and this blah blah blah, it will tell you the weather for the next day. And I'm like,
But
motherfucker.
it should act like there's a news station on your island. It should be, such and such is here today, like Red is on the harbour, the weather is raining, don't have to water your flowers today.
That's
you
what
know, like
Isabelle was for.
Yeah, like, but they don't give it to Isabel. They don't give it to the TV, which actually has no function. And like you said, you have to wake up and you literally have to like there is one way about getting around that to see who's visiting, and that's just to look at the map.
Yep.
And if you look at the map and you see that person's icon, you know they're here today. I have to just go look for them. But that's the only way to know if someone's on your island.
Exactly. And it's like, am I gonna? I don't know. Should I, as a lazy gamer, should I have to do that? Shouldn't the game be like, here are all the wonderful things you can do? Go!
Exactly. Give me everything I want for nothing.
For nothing! I've paid enough for this damn game, okay? Like, you can give me the freaking weather, thank you. Just saying.
God damn Nintendo.
Fuck. They're known. Like, Nintendo's always been known for, like, dialogue, but when it comes to Animal Crossing, unless you're Bluebear, like, I don't care. Don't fucking care.
Although I did actually get to do one thing a couple weeks ago. I think I brought this up on a previous episode, but Octavian, my red octopus dude,
Yes.
he finally was friendly enough with me that said, would you like to pick a nickname for me to call you? And I thought, I finally got to this level of friendship, so I told him to always call me my dude.
Oh, I love that!
Now whenever I see him in the morning, he's like, how's it going, my dude? And I'm just like, I can log off after this, I'm done.
We're friends
Half of
now.
my villagers call me Maximum. Half of my villagers call me Vitamin P.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Oh my
That is so wonderful.
One of the streamers that I watch that plays this as well, he's managed to convince all of his villagers to call him Pleb.
Oh my word.
Beautiful.
There's one villager that I've been trying to stab for
Same.
about 4 months now. His name's Deli. He's an arsehole monkey, and he won't let me pick my own nickname. He picked it for me, and he calls me Pocket Relocator. And I don't even know what it means. And I keep asking. I'm like, Deli, what does that even mean?
Wow.
And he's like,
Would that have
bye
been-
now.
Would that have been one of your titles at the time or something?
No.
I need to
By the way,
rename
no,
you
no,
on
no.
Twitch.
Oh my god, could you imagine if it took his title off Twitch? Oh my god, he'd be like the Ding Dong stream. Hey Ding Dong.
See, I would accept that over Pocket Relocator, which makes no sense.
Wow, that's like the word. Like he called you. It's like that thing when someone cusses you out and you don't know how to respond. You're just like, no, you are. You know.
Yeah, you big toe. Like, you don't even know, like, I know, I've done it so many times. So
Diz in Animal Crossing got cussed out by being called Pocket Relocator, and there was no response in the world he can come back with.
I just
Really?
didn't know.
I wouldn't know
just
what to
didn't
do.
know.
Oh, I'd be so pissed.
See, Diz, I have a question for you here. What nickname would you prefer then? Pocket Relocator
Okay.
or BPD?
Oh, good question. BPD.
Pocket Relocator.
You want BPD?
No, you gotta go BPD.
But now there's lots of people listening that probably don't know what you're talking about, and I think
being
this is the
one of
first
them.
So why
time
don't
we're
you
not going to
explain?
explain it. No, because it's got nothing to do with me, so I'm not explaining it. Fuck that.
It's got
And that's
everything
now
to do
the
with you.
first time I've sworn on this podcast.
I already swore a few times.
Don't worry about it.
It's been more, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I definitely have swore a lot.
Oh my god.
I have a feeling your entire YouTube track is going to be a long beep.
Oh yeah. I that's why I haven't been uploading my
Your VODs?
streams, or anything
Yeah.
to YouTube. Because I'm like, I'm gonna get like in so much shit so fast.
Well, I think like Senpai said previously, as long as you bleep the first 15 minutes, then the rest
I'm
is
bleeping the first
fine.
15 minutes, yeah.
Of this, yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
all YouTube actually care about, apparently.
They care about the first 30
think
seconds,
that
or
says
if
a-
it's longer than that, it's a percentage of it, but it's fine.
Right.
I think that just shows how much kids hold interest in any video on YouTube nowadays.
It's like 30
Yeah.
seconds. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
My
Which
God.
is why YouTube only cares about that much.
Right.
That's why quite a lot of videos are on YouTube are only 10 minutes long. They want to reach the amount so that they can add ad revenue in it.
Right.
But at the same time, they're not allowed to do any swearing because it's only 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So YouTube's harder game, but
yeah, it's like, do you want to, do you want to like censor your people, or do you want to make ad revenue? Like, what do you?
Exactly.
I feel like people like the rawness a lot. That's kind of why on my stream I have like no whole bars, like go for it. You know what I mean? I have said some things, but like nothing obviously that like would fuck up TOS or anything, nothing like that. But like just we've had discussions and stuff, and we're talking about like the craziest shit, and it's like, well, yeah, like people like.
You mean like OnlyFans?
Oh yes, my OnlyFans that I'm gonna start for my feet. I bring up OnlyFans a lot because I've heard women have made many coins on
all of the
pictures.
monies.
Like, well, if I shave my toes and I paint it, that would be really, really great. And I could like everyone right now, all your faces are like, oh, sharing too much.
I'm thinking it's my time for OnlyFans. Senpai, get me that morph suit, buddy. We're going to OnlyFans.
Yeah, I always joke.
Go full green screen,
coming up,
full
I'll do
morph
it.
suit.
You know what I want to do? I want to do a green screen video, like a kind of a film with me wearing a green morph suit. So you only see my head, but I want to be floating through space. But I'm just going to cut out the nipples.
Oh my god!
I will pay for that. I will pay for that.
First customer.
I need that in my life right now.
All you want to see is a floating head and floating nipples through space.
all you need.
I've cracked the code.
Right.
I've cracked OnlyFans.
Dude, if you want to do it slightly better, cut the feet off the morph suit as well and just be the feet as well. Just so you can get the foot fetish people in there.
Oh my god.
Wait, and then here we go. We're getting weirder with this. And then, because of the green screen, we're going to cut it all down. So it's going to be the feet followed directly by the nipples.
Yeah.
Directly by the head on top.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Ooh,
I am in.
image.
Okay, I'm TMing this. This is
Yeah.
mine.
All you boo boo. All yours. You can take that one.
So onlyfans.com/InvisibleDizz. You can find that pretty damn soon. There's gonna be some weird
He's already
shit
registered.
happening.
Oh my god.
I'm holding you the two that Diz.
Wow, that's gonna be Golfy's next charity stream.
There's
okay.
money to make, man, in OnlyFans, and it's
Yeah.
spicy.
But right, taking the conversation back to gaming.
Right.
See, we're doing the roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's a ride. This podcast. It's a
I would
ride.
like to do the remember you were talking about on your stream about the podcast that just are about like just talking shit. I would love to be a part of that. If you ever start that up, I'll be no guest on that.
That's one of my go-to projects now. I am actually dying to do that kind of podcast where there is no theme to it.
Yeah.
It's just let's click record, talk shit for 2 hours, done.
And like have a fishbowl with all different kinds
That was
of
the original
topics.
concept.
Like, what do you think about feet? You know what I mean? Or like, what do you think about plot? Like, if there's
I
ever
can't
dead air.
tell you just how many opinions I have of feet, but that's for a different time.
That's
That's when I
podcast.
mentioned the whole feet thing. You were like, oh god, this bitch.
That's for a different time. I'll contact you. We'll get the podcast going.
Tumblr.com/InvisibleDizz.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the other questions I have here is when it comes to games on Twitch, is there anything that you prefer to watch rather than play?
Oh, a lot. So I love watching, obviously, all my friends play, and I can. You want like games specifically? Or like genres?
Well, like
that?
for instance, I used to be obsessed with playing Overwatch. I haven't played Overwatch probably in about a year now, but I still like to watch Twitch streamers play Overwatch.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily play it myself anymore, but I still love watching people play it.
Interesting. Okay, you know what? I agree with that. I think I'm like that with literally any Zelda game. So I actually follow a whole bunch of people who do speedruns. Actually, there's one gentleman in particular, Richard Sage. He is an Australian speedrunner, and I didn't know what speedrunning was or this or that, and I kind of like stumbled upon him like really, really early on in my like Twitch days, about almost 2 or 3 years ago, and he 2 years ago. And he was like my first sort of Zelda speedrunner. I think he's honestly the really only one I really watch like consistently, like all the time as much as I can. Obviously being in Australia, we're complete polar opposites, so I can never catch him. You can never catch me. But I love watching anything Zelda related. So it could be speedruns, it could be just, you know, casual playthroughs, it could be a certain temple or something that they want to beat or whatever theme or something that is. I feel like I have this undying love for Zelda, and it was one of those first games that introduced me, you know? So it was, it's definitely holds like a deep, deep place in my heart. And I feel like when I watch other people play it, it's almost going down like memory lane. It's so nostalgic, and that nostalgia, I think, is what keeps me wanting to come back and watch other people and see what everybody else is doing in Zelda. Like, oh crap, did I miss that, or did I ever do that side quest or something?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I do is a lot of Zelda. I found myself watching a lot of like retro, but specifically Zelda titles is the most that I do really focus on.
That's cool. That's really cool. What about you, Lance? Any games that you rather watch than play?
On Twitch right now?
Does you suit Larry?
I don't think that's even allowed on Twitch anymore, is it?
I have no idea.
I was about to say.
I don't think that would be.
No, I mean, to be fair, there's a game that I watched only because I was intrigued by it when it first came out, and that's Escape from Tarkov. It's a very realistic, and I use BR in the loosest terms. It's not technically a BR. It's not like you roll in and it's like you versus 100 people in that sense of in the word. Essentially, this one's a little bit different. It's more realistic, as in you load into a map. There are certain objectives you need to do if you want to do the story mission for it, if you wish to. And then there's like things that you personally can go do if you want to go grab stuff. But your goal is that you have to, I think you have like 20 minutes to traverse through the map, find what you need to do, survive actual players and then actual NPCs. Because there's like there's bosses in there that you can kill to get certain drops if you're lucky enough. And then there are actual players who will do the same thing, but also go in to kill other players, to take their loot and so forth. And you come back to your base to build up as you do. It kind of like, but it's like set in Russia and everyone in there is very angry.
Appropriate.
No, quite literally in the game that you'll hear Russian, like, and they call them scavs for some reason. I don't know what it stands for, but they call them scavs, and they'll see you and then they get really angry. They'll just start spewing in Russian.
You stole my vodka.
It probably is that saying it in Russian, but I don't understand Russian, so I'm like, I have no idea what he's saying. He's probably very angry at me stealing his vodka.
I don't
Russian drink vodka,
family,
but sure.
so I totally can. Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah. But yeah,
I have family in Belarus,
recently,
so in Minsk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Da.
That's the extent of my Russian.
You just took that from Rocky 4.
That's all I know.
But yeah, EFT's probably been the one thing I watch that I don't play. But in terms of, I haven't watched Overwatch stuff in a long while just because, like you did, I haven't been able to play Overwatch. I haven't played Overwatch in a while just because when we last played it, it was mainly due to technical issues that we couldn't stream it. Like it was... it was quite literally like a back and forth for me and Tex. Like we would be doing the Monday night streams, and either one week I can't stream Overwatch, or the next week Tex can't do it, or the week after that we both just can't get it to work. It was quite literally in that rotation. It was like one of us would have it each other week, and then we both would fail at getting it to work, and then it go back to normal, and then it rinse and repeat.
Oh jeez.
I don't. Yeah, it's just one of those things where we like you look to see what the issue was, and all Blizzard would say would be is like, oh, there's a problem with your Windows PC. I'm like, no, it's you.
Excuse me.
Don't blame me for your F up, you $1 billion weirdo.
Right?
But yeah, it's but that was another one I would like to have gone back to play and watch, but I've lost interest. I mean, I probably look forward to it when Overwatch 2 comes out, but then as of right now, Overwatch 1's kind of lost me.
But,
But
fair enough, man.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of Fortnite streams. I don't really watch it much anymore. The only one I watch who if I decide to go back and watch it is probably Dakota's, but because he was like one of the very first Fortnite streamers I watched, and he was the way he interacts with his audience and the way he actually plays games is probably one of the most engaging but yet funniest things I've seen. Like because
That's awesome.
the guy is so good at the game, but the way he interacts with his chat is actually hilarious. And then he would do stuff on stream to make it more interesting. And when I first started watching him, he was living in France with his girlfriend at the time.
Wow.
But then I think it was every 7 or 6 months, he would have to come back to Florida, stay for 3 months, then go back out there again. So his schedule would just like bounce back and forth between the Europeans and the US. And then I think now he's back in the US permanently because him and his other half broke up. But back then when he was in the height of the Fortnite like hype train that everyone was in, he was like in that bubble. He was like one of the best I watched. Like he was probably one of the best snipers in that game. And I was like, damn, that is just insane how he does it.
That's crazy. I love when you can watch somebody who's just so damn good at a game that you love, and you're like, holy crap. It almost changes the game, and it makes you like appreciate it so much more, and you're like, this game is just so much better because you know how to do it. I clearly don't, but you can play it so well. I love watching that. I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm the same. I would watch and be like, oh, that's impressive how he's doing it. And then I'd be like, I would then like maybe that week or something, I'd be playing Fortnite with like friends I was playing Fortnite at the time, and I'd be like, he's on PC, I was on console at the time. I was like, let me see if I can do it. And I would 9 out of 10 times fail, but the 1 out of 10 that I get, I'm like, oh, I did it! Oh, and I'll be like, yeah, clip it.
Oh, I love that.
It's PlayStation.
I love it so much.
Yeah, it's those moments when you get it and you're like, that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Awesome. So, what about you, Tex? Any games that you prefer to watch rather than play?
I'm literally happy to watch anything as long as I enjoy the streamer itself. Like, say, for example, I can quite happily watch you play The Witcher. Obviously, I'm happy to play the game as well, but then I can quite happily watch Lance play Division 2. I have no interest in the game, but he makes it interesting to me, and to the point that he even got me to play it. So,
awesome.
To me, as long as the streamer themselves are interesting, I'm going to have an interest in the game as well. So
that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate that kind word, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
And what about you, Senpai? Go on.
I was going to say, the main reason I watch Twitch is purely for the interaction, not necessarily for the gameplay. If I want gameplay, I'm going to go to YouTube, because at least then it's cut, it's entertaining. You're going to have a laugh, like myself and Lance. We watch Marcel on YouTube quite a lot with like Call of Duty Warzone and stuff, and we'll mention it quite often because it's entertaining and it's nice and short. But then if I want the interaction, I'll go over to Twitch, like how I do with Val's stream and everything, like Twitch waifu and stuff like that. We have our good laughs in chat and everything, so it's always good fun to interact with the streamer themselves.
Yeah. Of course, man. I
agree.
Get that. I get that. But what about yourself, Senpai? Anything that you prefer to watch rather than play?
I'm exactly the same. I will look for the creator rather than for the content. I don't mind. Like,
it's quite hard to follow what Tex just said. I get.
I know.
Like, and if you say an actual game, you look like a dick compared to Tex.
I know. Like, I like watching Lance play D2. I really enjoyed him playing Jurassic Park World, whatever it was. I'm really enjoying you playing The Witcher, but I will also watch Tex play Persona. I'll watch Val play Animal Crossing. I'll watch Happy Toe Camel playing her way through all of the Zelda games. It doesn't matter what the game is. I will look for the creator rather than for the game that they're playing. If they're enjoying it and the chat's enjoying it, then I'm all over it.
Place to flourish. I agree.
Sweet, man.
I take back my answer, and I'm going to add that to it. It's true.
I keep my answer because it's already been said. It's already out there. I'm sorry, I'm not like Tex and Senpai.
Right.
But Jesus Christ.
No, but it's true. No, I think. Well, what we thought was okay, more towards the game. But you guys are totally correct. I feel like, especially coming here on Twitch, you're looking for entertainment, right? It's like, watching TV, you're having something in the background, or actually interacting. Like it's a lot, and you want to make sure that you're watching somebody who's entertaining, because then
I honestly couldn't tell you the last time that I went to the browse page and looked through a game. I will always.
I couldn't either.
The funny thing is, I can say the same. I can't remember the last time I went to the browse page and was like, let me see who I want to check out. I've literally been like, you see like the recommended stuff, and I've been like, okay, I'll check that person out.
Sure.
And then I can't remember. For me, it was yesterday. So
no, correction. I can actually confirm the last time I went to the browse page and looked for a specific game, and that was when Far Cry 5 released. And that was because I was like, well, do I want to pick it up? Do I not?
That's fair.
And I figured, well, the way that I'm going to see if I've definitely got interest in the game and I want to play it myself is by going onto that channel onto that game itself on Twitch, and then just seeing live people playing it and see if it looks any good or not. That was the last time I did it.
Okay, I have
That's
to
fair.
take back what I said about the browse page, because I just remembered something. Because
Wait.
no, because
That's
it just dawned on me, because there was a time when Warzone was out, like Call of Duty Warzone was out, and Tex and I were like talking. I was like, dude, you've put Warzone in the wrong category, and he was like, no, I haven't. There's a game called Warzone. I'm like, but it's not Call of Duty Warzone. So I literally had to go through the browse to find this game called Warzone, and I was like, what is this? This isn't Call of Duty, and yet somehow this thing has 5,000 people in it. And they're all playing COD, but not the actual Warzone game. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because Call of Duty Warzone itself doesn't have its own category on Twitch. It has to be put under Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
But yet people were just searching up Warzone, and it's completely the wrong game.
It's the wrong
Right,
game.
right.
So the
So-
developer of this Warzone must have looked at Twitch like, fucking hell, 5,000 people are playing our game.
Yes.
Our game is yeah, exactly. And I was like, what is this? And it was like, I think like the first 2 rows were all COD. And I was like, where is the actual game Warzone? And then I gave up. So I was like, Tex, go back to the actual category you're meant to be in.
Great.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's crazy.
Okay, well, I've got a quick question for you, Val. It's going to be a very quick fire round. It's a fire round of questions. It's
Okay.
one question. What Pokemon are you? Go.
Alakazam.
Okay, done. Next topic.
Wow.
We get to Pokemon. We're never leaving
my
this
God.
chat, man.
Oh my God. It was quite literally, as soon as you said it, I had to think about what Pokemon that was. I was like, wait, what Regional 3
The
is
one with
that?
the spoons!
Look behind you.
Favorite,
No,
the
it's the one with
glass
spoons.
cannon.
The thing is, though, Diz, I could have answered that for you, because when I caught Val playing Pokemon last time when the DLC released,
Yep.
I just recently got a shiny Alakazam from a raid
Oh yeah.
as a spare, and I traded that over to her. I was just like, so I could have answered that for
right
you.
on stream.
When I watched Val playing Pokemon, you were using the shiny Alakazam, so that's obviously from...
That's
right,
from me.
okay.
Yeah,
Next one you
right.
get, I'll have it. Next
Full
one.
circle.
you know,
It was.
wink, wink.
It's a magical moment. He's a wonderful character, wonderful Pokemon, I should say. But Ponyta and Ninetales are also in there as well.
Huh?
Okay, that's understandable.
What do you think about
you
the
only
new,
get one. The question was for one.
No.
Damn.
Quick fire round. No questions.
None at all.
Quick fire round's done now. It was one question.
That's it. Move on.
That's how quick it was. No, go on, Tex, go on.
What do you think about the new forms of Ponyta and Rapidash?
Oh, I love them. I like when the whole fairy type sort of came to be. I was very like, this is really stupid. But then I came to love it, and I was like, any Instagram basic woman like me, like, oh my god, pink is like everything. So I kind of like the different looks. I like the different themes. I think it kind of rejuvenates old, what do you call that earlier? It was nostalgic sort of characters that we love and grown up with so much, and it's like, oh my gosh, they can be like something else. Like this morning on my phone on Instagram, I saw the mega forms of legendary Pokemon. So like Raikou and Suicune or Suicune, Entei, and the legendary birds. It was like mega forms, and I thought that was so cool. I was looking at those different mega forms. I'm like, this is awesome. Upgrading the 150 to something different, I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with the whole Doug Trio weird blonde hair situation.
I will not have a bad word said about that beautiful triplet. Okay. The one at the back with the Fabio style blonde hair.
What's
I
this
just
execute
wanna
with a
hug
wig?
him.
Oh my
It
God.
is. I just want to hold that Doug Trio forever and never. I just want to comb its hair and just be like, everything will be all right.
Oh my God.
It's funny because like my cousin's husband was like to me and my other two cousins, like, wow, these ugly little trio things, it's you guys. Each one of us is a weird personalities. Each one of us is one of those little guys, and it's like,
Oh my God.
damn. Okay. But it's I think that's the only maybe issue I may have with I was a little deeply disturbed by them when I first saw them, but now I'm like, okay, you know what, if Diz can love them, I guess I can give it a shot.
The benchmark for loving Pokemon. If Diz loves it, we all stand a chance.
Hey, it's very hard for me to love something, but those adorable little bastards with their long, blonde, beautiful hair, just
want to see them on like a
give
magazine.
Pokemon a chance. Give Doug Trio a chance.
Well, how about you guys? Who's everyone's like favorite speed round Pokemon? What are you? Go.
Snorlax, done.
Mine's
Psyduck.
literally over my shoulder.
Psyduck.
Poliwrath.
Oh, we got all different types. This is awesome. Oh, I love that.
It's an old family joke.
I'm an avid lover of fire types, but Poliwrath's my man.
Oh, interesting.
Which actually, I got originally, recently, the new print of the very original Pokemon manga. Or sorry, manga for people that say it properly. I don't. And Ash Ketchum, who was only ever known as Red in the book, his first ever Pokemon was a Poliwag.
It was.
Oh.
And I never knew that until reading this
Neither did
book.
I.
That's like some old school, like, okay, if we're going to go deep right now, like, Pokemon has an influence on my life. Like, if we're talking, my cousin, another cousin of mine,
many cousins.
Many
Big
cousins.
family.
On the Polish side, the Italian side, a little bit of the Russians, we don't talk to them. But,
Duh.
We had an obsession with Pokemon, so we used to do a lot of crazy research into Pokemon, and actually at one point he had the poster, like the original 150 on his wall, and we would test each other on, okay, what's number 25? Okay, blah, 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 and we'd like have it all 25 is
Pikachu.
yeah. Or like
Some crazy knowledge.
yeah, so like I for some reason know a lot of weird Pokemon facts. And
Could you imagine being like that with the numbers there are now?
Oh,
You know, what's
Oh
number
my
723?
anything past Ruby and Sapphire, like, no. Not even the numbers. Like, I don't even know their numbers, but the Pokemon in general past Ruby and Sapphire, like, even Ruby and Sapphire itself, I'm kind of like, that's pushing it.
See, I made it, just as yourself, I made it up to Gen 3 with remembering what every Pokemon looks like, their name, their types and everything, but as soon as Gen 4 came out, I grew a little bit too old and my memory started going a little bit fuzzy past that.
Yep.
And now we're on Gen 8 and it's like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
When did you come out? What type are you?
What are you?
Who's this
Like,
guy?
You look yellow, but you're not electric. Like, that's not how it works.
Exactly.
You're like 12 years old, Tex. Shut up. That old man memory.
I was going to say, Tex is going to look at a picture of Charmander and goes, what is this thing?
I can't tell you how many
Charmander,
times this
bro.
podcast I've forgotten what your name is. That's what old man memory is. Right?
Oh my gosh. I have the worst memory I think I know, so don't ever take offense.
I can't even remember my old landline numbers.
Well, that brings us to our next topic.
Yeah.
Landlines?
So get your
Landline
memory. No. What Val said about her memory
my
being
God.
awful.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Let's talk about your favourite nostalgia games growing up, which I have a feeling most of them are going to be either Pokemon or Animal Crossing, but
Or Zelda.
or Zelda.
Maybe.
But give
Might be
us your list.
surprised, actually.
What's your favourite?
So, I wrote them down.
She did homework.
So I have
Nice. She came
broken this
prepped.
down.
She
I
came
was
prepped. We
prepared
like
for
this.
because for me it was a little specific. So your question is, what kind of like got you into gaming, or like what are your first games? But for me, my first video game that I've ever held and played and enjoyed, my dad, it's a long story, was I don't know if you guys remember, Windows 95 had a Star Wars
I remember Windows 95.
Death Star game, right?
I also
With the
remember
joystick.
Windows 95.
Yeah, and we had this game where you had the joystick or whatever it's called, and you were in the Death Star in the tube thing. You're trying to blow it up.
The two fires.
Yeah, and you're trying to
TIE fighters.
fly your little TIE fighter through all of the arches and whatever was in the way to get to the core of the Death Star to like blow it up, right? So that was my first video game that I've ever touched.
Very nice.
Yeah, and was my dad and I. We used to play it together, and we're all like screaming and like, "Ah!" Right? And I was like maybe 6 when that came out. So that was awesome. And then my first actual handheld game was my next. So there was no consoles until just after my handheld. So my first Game Boy Color, I had Game Boy Color, the purple CD one, which is awesome. I still have it somewhere actually. Was Pokemon
Nice.
Yellow. I got it for a birthday. So
Nice.
it
Good
was amazing. I think the same year. I think it was like 6 or 7 when I got that. It was like that's when it pretty much first came out, and that was when the obsession started. So that's when I discovered like Nintendo and Game Freak and Pokemon and video games. That's when the addiction started, was Game Boy Color. Some people are like, this is blasphemous, like you have to play the original Game Boy, and I'm like, no. But
that you play it how you play it.
Exactly.
I know. It's so many people. That's the one thing is like, people judge so much about your experience. You're like, this is just my experience. But
It's
Gamers for you.
I know.
Exactly.
My God,
Gamers.
the internet. But after that was Sega Genesis and Nintendo Dreamcast.
My favorite console.
Yeah, man. My uncle had them in his basement, so whenever we would go over to his house and all the cousins would get together, we're putting like the duck hunt game, like the gun right to the screen, and we're trying to blow up all the ducks and everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was also my next like game. All these games kind of like came in the same time for me. Like the Game Boy
Yeah.
and the Dreamcast and the Sega were all in one playing. That was my other first game was like Sonic and Tails, doing all that, and then they had like a little expansion on the top. You could put in that one for Knuckles, and you have all 3 of you. It was really cool. But that's for me. Like that was like the classic shit that like got me into games. And like I liked video games. But what got me addicted was definitely Yellow version. But then when I got my first N64 and Ocarina of Time, I think for a lot of people, being 90s babies, I think that was a big stepping stone for a lot of people when it came to video game like addiction. Was that and like GoldenEye and Star Fox and like all of the N64 Smash Bros. But for me, it was Ocarina of Time. That was like the first game for me that was like,
Good
it's
girl.
not a racing game. It's not a shooting game. It's not,
Yeah.
its own category. It's completely like a JRPG. Like, what the hell's a JRPG?
It's-
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was its own
Yeah.
entity. And it was so awesome because it had such a wicked storyline, which till this day is literally legendary. And I
Mhm.
think it's almost like, I know everyone always says it's everyone's first game, but it was, I think, what got me addicted to video games. And that's
Yeah.
where it all
I
started.
understand
And
that.
from
I
there, all
appreciate
the-
that. Yeah.
Those are like my
I think-
firsts. But however,
Yeah.
when it comes to
However,
when it comes to Wind
There's a
Waker
caveat.
and like, when it comes to like Mario Party 3 for N64, I will fuck all of you up. That's the one game I am so good at it. I will kill.
Elmo GIF.
Challenge
Flames are
accepted.
coming back. Elmo's like,
Oh my God.
can I come out? And I'm like, no, shh, Elmo, it's okay. But yeah, no, like,
Are we
it's-
allowed to title this podcast "I Will Fuck a Bitch Up"? Because I feel like
can
we've
have
heard that
asterisks.
a lot.
Yeah, there's asterisks there.
Okay.
It would just be a title of just asterisks, and it'd be
Yeah.
like, what's this title about?
I think we have the title.
yeah.
But sorry, do continue. You
No,
were
that's
saying you're gonna
pretty
fuck a
much it.
bitch up.
I'll look at the judge in Mario Party 3 for N64. If you have to play Pump and Away with me, I will kill you and set a record in your own game. I'm just saying. This game
Wow.
gets me. But that was one of those games that I played with a friend of mine. He used to sleep over every Friday night because he used to watch all of the anime that was on television at the time was like Inuyasha. And like all these other like classic animes would come on between like 8 o'clock and like 10 o'clock. So she'd come over, she'd sleep over, we'd watch all the anime, and then we'd stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning playing Mario Party 3 and like kicking
My
ass to
word.
get all the mini games and everything. So that's where the addiction was like the heaviest. And then it translated
that.
into like Double Dash and like Majora's Mask and Final Fantasy. But it was really those like the nostalgic games where it was Pokemon Yellow definitely was the gateway game for me.
So it's safe to say that a large part of your game upbringing is mainly Nintendo based.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Nintendo fan. Even Square Enix itself, not just with Final Fantasy, but I think they also produced, correct me if I'm wrong, like Legend of Dragoon, and they're, I don't know, just Square Enix in general. I've always liked kind of game producer. They said, "Hey, Square Enix is making something." I'm like, I'm all over it. Like, I love it. I don't even care what it is. So just them in general, I followed them and like Game Freak. I know they only did exclusively Pokemon, but it was like, you know, I remember their emblem when the game started. It was just those little things that, you know, Nintendo always kind of, I don't know, always had, and they always stuck so true to like their brand. And I think as a kid who grew up as like a Nintendo kid, like it's embedded in you, it's in your blood. It really is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nintendo was definitely my gateway drug into video gaming. Was definitely Nintendo.
I get that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like my first experience was a Game Boy, like
Amazing.
the original Game Boy.
The great
Fighting
box.
we're old.
both my dad and my brother for a Tetris. Yes, because we're old.
I love that.
But I would say probably one of my oldest memories is not particularly a game, but it's just loading up the Mega Drive or the Genesis for you.
Yep.
I don't know why it was called the Mega Drive here and the Genesis. I don't know.
I never.
I didn't know that.
But
Yeah.
just slapping in, let's just say Sonic, and you press that on button, the big massive red power button, and you just see the word Sega on the screen, and you just hear Sega.
Sega.
Like that in itself. Like I'm taken back. Like I'm 10 years old again.
So good.
I
Sitting
still
in my
have an
room
OG Mega
throwing my
Drive. Well,
controllers.
Alex does.
Yeah, whipping in my leg. I'm like, crap the TV. Same.
Yeah, I've got my old Mega Drives. I've got all of my old games. I love it to death.
Lucky you. My dad traded in all of my N64 games for the GameCube. He thought he was doing something good.
That's not a good trade.
So I understand his like
Intentions.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like fuck you, Dad. Like you ruined my childhood. So my
New
brother and
title
I,
for the podcast.
sorry.
Fuck you, Dad.
My brother and
Wow.
I have been collecting games for years to try to get back our collection that we had previously, and I think we've done better than we have before. So we're there, we have it all, but like, damn. And like my parents were divorcing. Like it was like 2001, my parents got divorced, and that's when my dad that's when the GameCube started coming out. I think it was like 2002, 2003 or something like that. So my dad thought he was helping us, and we're like, Dad, like, if the divorce wasn't as, you know, it's already so bad, like our parents' divorce was really messy, and it's like everyone was taking sides. It was really bad, and it was like, Dad, if you don't want us to hate you, like you're doing all the wrong things. So, like,
I
It
can
was so
imagine now.
bad.
I can imagine
Oh,
now.
man.
You opened up the GameCube,
Yep.
seeing your shelf of Mega Drive games empty.
Yeah.
And it's like, Dad, I don't know if you know this about me,
Wait a minute.
but I will fuck a bitch up.
Like when my brother and I, like, we were grateful. Don't get me wrong, we were so happy for the new system.
Of course.
But we're like, you're not supposed to do that, and like we're crying, but we're like, we're so happy that we have a new system. But we're like, what the fuck?
Were you trying to make it look like good tears?
Yeah,
But
it
it's
was very
pain
confusing.
tears.
It was like angry and happiness, and so we were so confused, and he was confused. So he learned the really, really, really hard way that we didn't trust him near video games for a long time. So when he was like, "Hey, the Wii's coming out," we're like, "Don't touch the game."
Don't touch. Don't.
Listen here,
Don't,
bitch.
no.
So we actually hid all the games in the system. We actually physically hid them when it came Christmas time. That's usually when Nintendo releases a lot of their games and a lot of their systems or whatever. They do all their releases like in September or August to get everyone ramped up. So like that time, my brother and I would start like, we'd be done with the GameCube, we'd like unplug it and like hide it. My dad's like, you don't have to do that. We're like, no, you broke the trust once. That's all it takes is one time. For
Wow,
years.
pre-prepping that plan.
It was like it was pretty bad. But I mean, my dad and I have a wonderful relationship now. However, after that really broke my trust. Like he knows that.
The memories are still there,
Still
and he
fresh.
didn't realize.
Like you can
Yeah.
just open that wound up and rub some salt in it just by talking about it. Like I'm already getting angry just thinking about it.
Actually, do me a favor.
Yes.
Do me a favor. Just send him a picture of a table with nothing on it, and say, "How do you like my Mega Drive collection?"
Do you see all of my N64 games? No. Oh really?
Yeah, sorry, N64.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God. Just thinking about it. I remember like that day.
Wow, deep cuts on that right there. Jesus.
But he didn't know, right? Like our parents didn't like you do the trade-in. You trade in the old car for the new model, right? So he thought he was doing something good for us. Like, you don't need that anymore. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Not how consoles work.
Intentions,
Literally.
the intentions were good.
Yes.
It was just
You're a
all
dumbass, but
wrong.
it's fine. Yeah. No, you know what? And if and when, maybe, however, who knows? Probably not. But if it happens, if I do accidentally maybe have children, who knows? If it happens,
That was a hell of a caveat.
if that ever happens,
no.
I know that's one of the rules, and like, we don't touch the nostalgia. Like
Nope.
I have.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You have to pass on the family tradition. You take something your kid loves and you
Throw it out
sell
the
it.
window.
Oh my god.
Where are you even getting your allowance from? What do you
Carry
mean?
on the family tradition.
Right? Brokenheartedness, the distraught.
And then you look your kid in the eye and you just say, you have your granddad to thank for that.
Yes.
The resentment starts nigh.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, he learned his lesson from that. So that was
10 generations down the line. We don't know who started this, but we do it every
this
generation.
bastard. If I'm damaged, you're damaged too. Like, oh my gosh.
And that is love. That's how families work. It's
Love is
twisted,
painful.
but there's good intentions.
If I may, on the point of nostalgia, there was a bit of news that released just yesterday, I believe, that got me so goddamn excited. It's unbelievable. I don't know if you guys ever would have heard or played it, but do you guys know of Monster Rancher on the PlayStation?
Yes,
I know of it,
yes,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
anime.
It was one of
Eyeball.
the first spawn-offs of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Excellent. That is getting a complete redo for the Switch.
Oh my
Monster
god.
Rancher 2.
Are you
Wow.
serious?
Oh wow, okay.
Okay.
I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Ooh, that.
Badass.
That's a game. Holy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I never played that game on the PlayStation, but I remember people who did have it. They loved it.
Yeah, I absolutely adored the thing. And to be able to create monsters within the code from literally just having the game run and then it having you take the disc out, put another disc in to have it read it, and then put the original game disc back in just to create a monster was absolutely brilliant in the way that it did that.
Yeah, no, that's.
So I'm kind of hoping it's going to have you do the same on the Switch, but with game cartridges.
That would be cool.
So it's two game cartridges. You put one in, then you need to get the other one for the monster from 2. Put that back in to go back to 1.
Yeah, essentially. So the way that it would work, you'd have the game cartridge in, you'd be playing it, you'd take it out, you'd put a game cartridge in from like Mario Kart or something, put that in, it would generate a monster for you, you'd then swap them back over and you could carry on playing with the new monster created from Mario Kart.
Like
How
would that be?
like a Sony amiibo.
I would probably say that would just
Kind
be
of.
amiibos if it's on the Switch.
That's
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Like a Mario amiibo will give your monster a red hat.
like everything
That's a good
else.
point, yeah.
You know, it's funny because like I was thinking how if being a diehard Nintendo fan and they're known for like their microtransactions, like I can see that being like a microtransaction thing happening in the future. That
Yeah, quite possibly.
like the amiibos, I'm again unpopular opinion, but I am a Nintendo kid. I'm not a big fan of the amiibos. I never think had games that I could ever play to like, use them. I never really had the ability to use them, so like I never had any. I don't still have any.
Yeah.
However, when Animal Crossing came out and I heard about the cards that are now they were so useless so many years ago, and now they're like a thing, and all these kids who like had binders full for no reason, they're like, yeah.
I bought my 8-year-old niece a shit ton of them for Christmas
Amazing! Oh, that's awesome.
for
Oh
the
my gosh.
3DS,
So
and she's
like,
just got the
thriving
Switch
right
Lite,
now.
and she just she is.
Oh,
I need to get some. I need to borrow some of them off of her.
yeah,
I mean,
right.
when that first came out, the card version of the amiibos, like Nintendo massively lost money
Yeah, I heard.
on
Really?
that, even though they just produced literally a piece of cardboard, which is cheap.
Yep.
Apparently, it just flunked. Like no one bought them.
Yeah.
No.
Because the only game that they could be used with was the Happy Home Academy game.
Exactly.
Oh, really? It was
Was it-
literally for
yeah,
one
that
game.
was it.
One
Oh,
game.
okay.
Only game that they could be used with.
And like no
And
one
then-
bought that game.
I think it was like a month before New Horizon was announced. There was like a little leak, like, hey, there's an announcement coming. It might be Animal Crossing on the Switch. Everyone just thought, Amiibos, let's buy the cards. And suddenly, you're seeing like a pack of cards on eBay for like 15 quid. And they only contain, what, 4 cards in them?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You know, if you want to buy a box, you're setting back $500 US
Yeah, at least.
for a box of trading cards.
God.
And it's amazing how Nintendo, well, I mean, they didn't turn it into a profit, but they turned a failure into a must-have commodity because everyone wants to make the perfect island with their
Right.
perfect villagers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and now these cards are absolute must-have, and people are finding their way around it. You can go to Etsy.
Yeah.
You can find people that make like their own little discs
Yeah,
that
they're-
have the same code on it.
Yeah.
You know, not like I'm endorsing that, but go to Etsy if you want to
Yeah.
find them.
Yeah.
Wow.
The seller's
heard.
name is InvisibleDizz.
Yeah.
No.
Right? It's illegal Nintendo merchandise. But Nintendo's
Just
really
to clarify, I do not make them. I'm not smart enough to know how to make them.
good at it. Me neither.
So-
it's
but
something to do
it's
with like, your
amazing.
phone or something, which is really cool.
I think you can do it on your phone now.
Yeah, you can do it to
Yeah.
your phone. Yeah, all you literally need to buy is a blank NFC chip, and then you can write to it from your phone or from any other NFC device.
It's crazy
What he said.
how easy it is now.
Yeah.
And I'll probably be going to tech to find out how to do that.
To get
I mean, I'm not saying
Bluebear.
I've done it before or anything, but
But you're opening up an Etsy store. We get it.
Right. Totally. Your first customers.
I mean,
right
you've got
here.
you've
Oh
got
my
an Android
God.
phone. You can do it from your phone.
Yeah, you really could.
yeah.
I
But
can.
Diz, I mean, I've got to
can.
compete with you somehow with your
Moral
OnlyFans. I've got
compass,
my
though.
Etsy
How's
store.
the magnet?
I've got to compete with you somehow.
Right? Man, OnlyFans feet pictures and
I'm
nipples and
I'm
feet.
serious about this OnlyFans.
I will
This
pay
is
for it.
happening. I am gonna do some disturbing shit.
That's what
And
it's
anyway,
for.
right, back to games.
Right. Well, that's what that platform's for. It's meant for all of exclusivities. Exclusiveness?
No, to be perfectly honest, it will come to tomorrow,
No, that's
and I'll forget
extremities.
everything about it.
Extremities.
Extremities. Exclusiveness for extremities.
Oh my god.
On
that.
on the mention of Nintendo announcements, though, did any of you guys watch today's Nintendo Treehouse thing that went on?
No.
I didn't even know there was one.
Didn't, but
Yeah,
apparently
there
there
was.
was gameplay of Paper Mario.
Yes, there was gameplay of Paper Mario. So they said that they were going to show some gameplay for the new Paper Mario game, which looks fun. I didn't personally watch it myself, but my wife was. And there was meant to be some kind of extra announcement of a Nintendo IP being handled by a third party. Now, a lot of people were expecting this to be the new Metroid game that's being developed at the moment, because that is also being done by a third party.
Right.
Okay.
They shit on everyone.
Oh,
Well,
And
they-
it's- Can anyone guess what it was?
Oh.
Well, I mean, the
The
last
brushing your teeth
announcement when
Pokemon
it
game?
was a
Pokemon.
no, what wasn't
I'm sorry,
the last
I'm not
one when
dropping
they
that. That's ridiculous. Carry on.
when they teased a third party taking a Mario IP. Wasn't it the Rapids game, the Kingdom Battle, or whatever it was called?
Oh, Mario and the Rabbids.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
That,
It was okay.
not my
It was
favorite.
okay.
To be fair,
Well,
it was
you
a,
played
it
that
was a
though, Diz.
Mario XCOM. It was Ubisoft. Ubisoft did it.
Yeah,
Oh,
so you-
wow. I
yeah.
didn't know
Diz, you did that game on stream, right? I remember.
I did, and it was okay.
It Mario XCOM in my opinion, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Mario
No,
XCOM.
they announced It is.
Oh, that's perfect. I've never thought of it like that. It's Mario XCOM.
But no, the game that they announced was a new Bakugan game. If any
What?
of you know that one.
I know.
Yeah, Bakugan.
Wait,
Okay.
is that a card game?
No, think of it like Beyblade, but little miniature balls that would, when hit a magnet on the map, would flip out to be monsters. And
Yu-Gi-Oh.
other than that, I don't kind of like that. Yeah,
So kind of
but
like Yu-Gi-Oh meets Pokemon.
meets Beyblade all at the same
it's
time.
more-
Yeah,
it's like
The name
like
is
Yu-Gi-Oh,
familiar.
Pokemon, Beyblade. Yeah.
Okay.
and I mean, I was already past that point of watching it in my age, which is why I wasn't too sure if you guys would know about it. But yeah, a lot of people were not happy about it.
Yeah, but it's like when everyone screamed and cried about Pokemon Unity. It's just like, that's not what we want. We wanted Johto, you fuckers. And it's like, look, you get what you get. They're
Yeah.
making you a game that's gonna be free. Yes, it will be filled with microtransactions, but it's free, so just accept it, you
Right.
motherfucking moany bastards.
Yes,
And I
we
think
have
I've just
to.
met my quota of swearing for the stream, so... But look, the last couple Pokemon Direct / Present / Treehouse, I don't know how many different names of shows they want, but
Honestly.
the last couple have been a slight miss. But
Yeah.
they're producing content, and you know they could go one route and just not make any games, or they
Right.
can like. For every game, there is an audience. It's just maybe not the large audience.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's very
that is
true.
true.
That's very true.
Yeah, you got to cater to everybody, right? If that's your brand, then you have all these different outlets and stuff. You can't forget about all these other little outlets that you've created, right? Unless it's
Yeah.
the Wii U that was just. But we won't
Still
talk
got
about the
mine.
Wii U.
Still got mine.
I still have mine as well.
Me too.
The Yoshi crafted world
Woolly World.
is still
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Woolly World. It's phenomenal.
Oh, that's
Absolutely
awesome.
phenomenal.
Oh, it's one of those games where it's like, you know what? I can love you. That's okay. You're one of those.
Well,
Yep. That
Didn't
was
they
it.
re-release basically all of the best Wii U games for the Switch now? Anyway.
Games.
Yeah,
they
pretty much. I'm
re-released
pretty sure
them.
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
like,
I remember
Wind
the
Waker.
release day of Breath of the Wild. It was simultaneously released on the Wii U
With
as
the
well as the
Switch.
Switch.
That's
Yeah.
what I have it
Yeah.
as, actually.
Yeah.
I don't have it on the Switch. I have it on the Wii U because I didn't have the Switch until the second year it came out. So I did Breath of the Wild on the Wii. I still technically haven't beaten it. I've been one of those, like,
Neither have I. It's okay.
gotta do all the side quests first before I can, like,
Do
go to
some
I'm,
Ganon.
I am
Oh, they-
offended.
Sorry?
Marvelous.
It's been
Yeah, so-
years of me. Like, I haven't even picked it up. Even when Happy was playing it on her stream, I was like, I can't watch. Like, this is like spoiling it for me. And everyone's like, how's
Yeah.
this a spoiler? This game's been out for so long. And I'm like, but I haven't done it yet.
I
How
haven't
dare
finished it.
you? How dare you spoil a game I have no plans on finishing?
Dare you? But I did watch it. and I
I've
thought it was
started that game
amazing.
twice, once on my personal and once for stream, and haven't finished either yet.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my
so
word.
good. It's still to this day
Yeah.
my favorite Switch game.
Oh, yeah,
so
same,
good.
same.
So
Same.
it's-
Even having
Same.
not finished it,
Same.
it is still my favorite Switch game. I agree. It
Yep.
will probably go
I mean, if-
even further up the list when I actually finish it, but at
Yeah.
the moment it is still it's still my IGN 10 out of 10.
Nice.
I love that IGN 10 out of 10. I agree. You know what?
If-
It's one of those games that's just masterpiece.
It is. I mean, didn't we all unanimously last? I think it was the last episode that we did.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, it was episode 4 that we did, where we
Yep.
did the IGN 10 out of 10. We all just unanimously said,
Yep.
Breath of the Wild, definitely 10 out of 10. Move on.
Yep.
Yep,
Agreed.
move on. Yep.
Like, 100%. It's just, oh gosh, it's just a game that's just so. I think it resonates with everybody. You know what I mean? Even if that's your first Zelda game, or like, you know, if it was you're a long time part of the franchise, like all of us who've been playing games of Zelda, Legend of Zelda for so long. It's so good for anyone who hasn't played or has played. It is all encompassing, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And all the
Yeah.
I think that game pretty much hit everything you would need to make it a 10 out of 10. Like, there was always something in there that would bring anyone to play that game. Like, even if they would, like you said, like, if it was their first entry into a Zelda game,
Right.
it was easy enough for them to pick up and learn. But but then at the same time enough to be like, oh god, this is good. It keeps hooking you on for more.
Yeah.
Which is what I loved about it. But it's
just the little things in the game, like the cooking. Like, if you put a set of ingredients together that the game didn't like, it just went, da-da-da-da, here you go, here's a pile of shit that you just made.
Like, yay, I did something!
And it literally had purple skull and crossbones.
Do not eat this.
Yeah, you get sick, yeah.
Like, the fact that they just added little things to a game that was already perfect.
Yeah.
It was just...
Yeah.
The only maybe one...
I love it.
I wouldn't even consider this a complaint or like a negative or anything, but I kind of wish the story was a little stronger, because all of the Zelda games, their story is so in your face. It's what's compelling you to keep going. And because I think it was the open world, it was kind of like, you can do the side quests, or you can do the main one. Ganon's going to be over there. He'll wait.
I agree
he'll
with
be
that.
over there. Yeah.
That could have been
the open world element of it was phenomenal, but the story, it was 95%.
Everything.
It was
that's where it kind of went the Skyrim route. It was such
a
big open world game that you could literally travel and do whatever, but if you wanted to do the storyline and only focus on the storyline, you could be like dip dip dip, done in an hour.
Completely
right.
agree.
That's the thing. What I learned is that the storyline actually isn't that long, and I've been kind of like what Happy's doing. She's redoing all the Zelda games. I'm totally going to do the same thing. I've been wanting to do that for a long time on my stream. And whenever I think of Breath of the Wild, I'm like, holy crap, which route am I going to take on this? Like, am I going to do my obsessive compulsive, I need to collect every, Korok seed. I need to have every shrine, every heart piece. Am I going to be like that on stream? Are people going to want to watch that? Like, is that entertaining?
I found that I had quite an okay audience. Not going to say a great audience. I had an okay audience doing all of the completions up until the Korok seeds. That's when everyone was like, I'm done watching you play this.
Sick
like,
of you.
I think I did
stop looking
4
for
streams.
the Leaf Boys.
Yeah.
I think I did
Leafy
4.
Boys.
I did 4 streams on finding the. Are they called hidden
Korok
temples?
seeds?
What are they? No.
Oh,
Shrines?
the temples, yeah.
Yeah.
The shrines.
The
I did 4
shrines,
streams. The shrines.
Quite fun doing
the
that.
shrines. That was it, and I just kind of went around and was like, okay, I'm just going to use these as a way to open the map, and then I'm going to dive into the story. I'm going to do all of the beasts. Never did.
That's what Happy did for hers.
I need to
too. I loved it. Also, it's a challenge too, because like it's harder to find heart pieces like that way. So like you only have like 3 or 4 hearts throughout opening up all the maps, and there's so many bad guys and enemies that are so much stronger than you in like that jungle area and like
the Lionels.
The Lionels.
The Lionels,
they still scare the crap out of me. Like, oh my god, no. It's the Guardians. Holy crap, their legs, the lasers.
The Guardians.
When the music changes, my heart is like, no, and like I have a full blown
When the music changes,
panic.
I get that.
You haven't even. When you haven't even seen the Guardian,
like,
the music
"Where is
changes,
it?"
and then all of a sudden you just hear the laser on the back of your head.
Shit. All of like, oh my god, that I think is that scared me. Like there's like Majora's Mask was a terrifying, scary game, and Twilight Princess had its weird, creepy moments too. Like
I love Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess like scared the crap out of me, but I loved it. The creepy shadow demon thing with the
Twilight monsters.
Yeah, with the dreads. I was
them.
like, that is so terrifying, but so beautiful. And whenever the music would change and had that like almost like that digital like whenever they would come through this little portal. Oh my god. Like it instills fear into my soul. But it was like that's a Zelda game. The stupid, creepy ass things in a Zelda game is really, really like the creme de la creme. Just makes it so good. And I don't like horror movies. I don't like horror anything. Like, even watching Last of Us, I'm like, I can't watch streamers play this game. Like my panic is like up to here, and I'm like spamming in chat, and I'm like, I need to stop. I need to leave the room. Like I can't do those kinds of games. And Zelda always had it like. Just tasteful, you know what I mean? There's like games that you can play, like Dead by Daylight. It's constant fear. I'm actually not allowed to play Dead by Daylight anymore
Okay.
Nor am I. That's
Screaming.
my own rule because I scream a lot.
Thank you. My boyfriend,
Yeah.
he had so many important like army phone calls. He had to go leave and go into the car and like because he couldn't. I was screaming. So in this household, we are not allowed dead. So, but I just think like
Same
that.
rule in mine, but that's my rule.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I hold up that rule in our household, and I have to warn him within 24 hours of me playing it, so it's fair for both of us to have equilibrium in our basement apartment at the moment. So,
Like, boyfriend,
now-
tomorrow you're gonna have to leave the house.
this time, this day,
Playing
don't
Dead
ask
by
questions, just leave. And he would be like, "You're playing Dead by Daylight." Like, I'm gonna grab some snacks. I'll get the fuck out of here. That's fine. And like, he'll
Yeah.
leave.
See, that
But-
makes me really want to play that game with you now,
Oh,
just to see your
Damn,
reactions.
it's. I think I might
I would love
lose
to
like
get
followers.
4
and,
people
like,
and then 1 extra as the killer and just
Yep.
play it all
Oh.
night with the 5 people.
Greg, I'm so bad at it too. Like, it comes to first-person shooters, I'm the worst. I'm actually probably the worst I've ever seen. Like, you don't want to watch that content. Like, you're only here watching me because you maybe have seen my streams before, and you're like, okay, she's an idiot. This is great. Like, but like, it's so bad. That's why I don't stream it, because it's just I'm so bad at it, and the screaming is just not how my stream is. It's usually positive and chill and cool, like we're here for a good time. So if I bring a game like that on, I think I would like lose people because they're just like, what the hell? Like, this is not a side that we see from you.
Okay, now I've just before we finish up, I've got one last question for you. Then you say that you enjoy your streams being really nice, chill, chatting, and everything else.
Yeah.
And then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you've got
my
Mario Party 3. Okay. Now, have you heard of a game called Pummel Party?
I have. I played it.
Oh,
With
I love
Kilo.
Pummel Party. We need to play more Pummel Party.
I have
we
it.
need to play. We need to play Pummel Party. We all need to stream it. This sounds like a plan coming together for me.
It's now
100%.
His face says
8 players.
otherwise.
Oh, yeah, Diz is
It's
like,
now
I don't-
8 players.
8 players.
8
with
players.
I'm
That
down.
would be so funny.
I'm so
It
down.
seems
And
like
they
no
also-
matter what the mini game is, I'm standing there doing nothing, and Tech
Same.
hits me in the back of the head for no reason. And it's like, I've done nothing to threaten your score, man.
Oh god,
Well,
I
they've
like that
just
too.
recently updated it, as people have said. They've just recently updated it. 1 for 8 players, and 2 to add in more mini games as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to play this with people again.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm down.
I'll get
That's-
that reinstalled.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
game. Good.
I'll
That's a good
update
game.
it. I was playing with Nightbox Kilo just after he had that huge raid from like Timmy Tatman and all that. So his views were crazy. Like, he was having like hundreds of people watching him at this point, and he's like, "Want to come play Pummel Party?" I'm like, I don't think I'm appropriate for that kind of audience because I suck at these games, but okay. And like, I was so dead last, and his chat was just going. They're like, "Oh man, this captain, she sucks." Like, "Oh, of course she's 4th again." Like, "Oh my," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm getting real hate on the internet right now. Like, I can't do this." So that was an eye-opening moment of like, I'm really not good at games, but like, people for some reason are still here, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you. I can do Animal Crossing really well.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm glad we could do that for you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that game. I was like, maybe it was the pressure of like so many people watching. I was like, I can't do this. And I'm trying to like, haha, I'm having fun. I'm like, this sucks. I can't do that. Like, it was crazy. It was like out of this world. I don't even know why he invited me, but like, thank you for that. But like, damn, I was not having fun, and people were not having fun watching me do that. I wasn't. It was just brutal.
As long as you had a good time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all that
That's all that
matters.
matters.
So
Exactly.
you
Just as long
guys-
as you had a good time.
Ooh, that'd
Speaking
be
of good
spicy.
times, okay. Captain Val, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of the
Of
Crusaders
course.
podcast.
Good times were had.
Thank you
Yes,
so much
many
for
good
having
times were had.
me. We can keep going. If we could, all of us could just keep going. This was such a good vibe, such good energy.
I wish we could.
Oh, me
However, we're going to have to bring it there as an end.
Awesome.
But with that being said, Captain Val, where can people find you on the socials? Where do you stream? You know, just where are you?
Awesome, good question. So I'm on
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah. I'm from Toronto, Canada. No, you can find me on Twitch, obviously by CaptainxVal, my username. But I'm also on Instagram the most. So Instagram, Discord, and Twitch are my main three. I don't know how to use Twitter. It's an American thing, I think.
That's
I
fine.
don't know how it works,
Yeah.
but I have one, but I don't really use it as much. But Instagram is really my go-to for any updates or anything, and Discord. I may not. It's a very dead little spot, but everyone still kind of chimes in now and then. But that's where I put all my updates. So if I'm ever going live, and I have a lot of people tell me that their notifications don't work, but because they have me on Discord, they get those instead. So Discord, Instagram, and Twitch is where you can find me, and that's where I'll always be lurking and creeping around and like.
What's your usernames and what's the Twitch page?
So always it's Twitch.com/CaptainxVal, and that's the same username for Instagram, same username for Discord.
And the Twitter that you don't use.
And the Twitter I don't use.
And that's where you
Right,
And the YouTube I don't
There we
use.
go.
The YouTube account is dead, but like.
Diz, where can people find you, my dude?
On Instagram and Twitter, it is just at InvisibleDizz. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/InvisibleDizz.
And his OnlyFans of Find My Feet will be coming soon.
Yeah.
And onlyfans.com/InvisibleDizz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Senpai, where can people find you and your beautiful purple hair?
That is twitch.tv/SENPIEMAN. Same for Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
And Techsnologic, my boo-boo, where we finding you?
All right, Boo Boo, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter as @Techsnologic. And then for YouTube and Facebook, you can find me as Techsnologic Gaming.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
You can find me at twitch.tv/LancelotArcher. My Twitter handle is @ShiroArcher. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 6 of the Crusader Podcast. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Captain Val, we love you. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Guys, we are out. Have a good one. Triple peace.
Triple peace.
Triple peas.
Triple B's.